Most people believe the lottery works in one simple way. You buy a ticket, you scratch it, you either win or lose. And when you lose, which most people do, you tell yourself the same thing. It's just luck. This story begins there. This is a real story, based on a real person. Her name was Joan Ginther. She was born in the United States and lived a quiet life in Texas. And over the years, she won the lottery, not once, not twice, but multiple times. Millions of dollars. That alone sounds impossible. Once might be luck. Twice might raise eyebrows. 3 times feels uncomfortable. By the 4th time, people stopped calling it coincidence. By the time she had won 4 large lottery prizes, totaling more than $20 million, journalists and lottery officials started paying attention. So people asked the obvious question, how? Also, people started whispering, did she cheat? Did she have insider access? Was someone feeding her winning tickets? Because this wasn't supposed to happen. The lottery is designed so no one wins repeatedly. That's the whole point. It is built on probability collapsing over time. The more you play, the more you should lose. That's the promise of the system. So investigators looked closer. They checked the obvious things first. Was there fraud? No. Was there manipulation of tickets? No. Was there insider help? No evidence. Every ticket was purchased legally. Every win was verified. That made the situation worse. Because if nothing illegal happened, then the uncomfortable question remained, how? But what made the story more interesting was something else. Joan Ginther held a PhD in statistics from Stanford University. And suddenly, the story changed. Joan Ginther never answered that publicly, but her background gives us a strong clue. A statistician does not see randomness the way most people do. They know something important. Random systems still follow rules. Joan never treated the lottery as magic. She treated it like a structure that could be observed. Years before her name ever appeared on a winner's list, she barely played. When she did, it wasn't with excitement. It was with curiosity. She wanted to understand how scratch-off games actually worked. Scratch-off lottery games are not created endlessly. Each game is printed once in a fixed quantity. For example, a game may print 5 million tickets out of those. Maybe 5 contain the top prize. The rest are smaller wins or losses. Once printed, these tickets are never reshuffled. They are packed into rolls, usually around 100 tickets each. Those rolls are shipped to stores. Stores sell tickets in order. That structure matters. Joan Ginther understood this. Buying 10 tickets from the same roll is not the same as buying 10 tickets from 10 different stores. This isn't a secret. It's just not advertised. Joan Ginther didn't always buy many tickets. She didn't chase wins. She waited. She watched how each game behaved over time. Some games felt chaotic. Small wins appeared randomly. Losses had no rhythm. She stopped touching those games. Other games felt steadier. Small wins appeared at similar intervals. Losses followed patterns that repeated, not guaranteed, but consistent enough to study. This is where people misunderstand the story. She didn't crack the lottery. She filtered it. Most people treat every game as equal. She didn't. She ignored most games completely. She only played when several conditions aligned. An older game, a large prize still unclaimed, slow ticket sales, a fresh roll. When any of these broke, she stopped. No emotion, no chasing, no doubling down. This restraint is important. If she had played emotionally, she would have lost like everyone else. Then she won. Quietly, no celebration, no press. She claimed the prize and disappeared again. Most people would have stopped. She didn't, because for her, the win didn't prove luck. It tested the logic. Years later, she repeated the process. Same checks, same patience, and she won again. By this point, people weren't asking if she cheated. They were asking why it wasn't illegal. Because nothing she did broke the rules. She didn't manipulate tickets. She didn't hack the system. She didn't exploit employees. She simply understood the structure better than most people. That's what unsettled everyone. Because it suggested something uncomfortable. The lottery wasn't broken. People's understanding of it was. Investigations ended quietly. No charges, no accusations, just silence. Joan Ginther never explained herself. She never sold a method. She never claimed she beat the lottery. She went back to living quietly. That silence might be the most important part of the story. People who rely on tricks talk. People who rely on systems don't. This story isn't telling you to play the lottery. That would miss the point entirely. This story is about how systems reward observation, not hope. Most people rush in. She waited. Most people assume randomness. She looked for structure. Most people react emotionally. She acted conditionally. She didn't cheat. She didn't break the law. She did something more unsettling. She understood the system. And that's why this story still makes people uneasy. Because it reminds us of something we don't like to admit. What we call luck often looks very different when someone is patient enough to study it. That is the real logic behind the story. If this story taught you something new, share it. Story2Logic, where knowledge meets reality.